Hey, I'm live. I'm here. It's Saturday. Gonna do another show. Hair's growing out little by little. Hair's growing out. Hard to tell in this light, but I'm getting hair again. Over hair. Getting hair over here. Let me increase the size of the font. There we go. So I can read the chat in case somebody shows up. But anyway, here I am. I got news for you today. Yep, I got news for you. I'm just going to kick back here for a few minutes. Hopefully, somebody will show up to talk to me. If not, then I'll just go on my way and do this show like I always do. But I got some stuff packed up, ready to smoke. So we'll see what happens here. Got some interesting stories. Things happening around the world, mostly here. But we'll get to it in a few minutes. It's only 4:17. We got a couple, 3 minutes here to wait. Just kind of kicking back, taking it easy. Been a really blustery day here. High winds, thunderstorms. So most of the leaves are gone off my trees, except for two. My Japanese maple and my Bradford pear. Bradford pear hangs onto its leaves till the very last minute. After all the leaves are gone off all the other trees, and the Bradford pear will lose all its leaves in a single day. Okay, so it's a weird tree. So yeah, all my oak trees are naked now. They're all the leaves are gone, all on the ground, cluttering up my lawn, my driveway. Of course, with all the high winds we had today, most of them blown into my neighbor's yard. So I don't rake. So I'll leave that for the landscaper come spring. Big spring cleanup cost me a couple $100, so I'll just wait for that. You know how that goes. My nose is running. So before I get started on the news, I'm going to give this schnoz a honk here. That's much better. Who could this be? Oh boy. I keep getting texts, political text. They've been going on all day. I'm just going to turn this off so we don't have to listen to it. We'll put it way over here so I won't bother with it unless it rings. If I get a phone call, that's another story. I'm expecting a phone call, so we'll answer it, but not going to worry about texts. Not during my show, anyway. Hey, happy 420. Kind of snuck up on me there. Yeah, happy 420. When am I going to learn not to inhale the paper yet? When am I going to learn that? I know what's wrong with me. I think after all these years of smoking, I'd learned not to inhale the paper hit. But what are you going to do? So let's get started with the news. China has warned Russia against threatening to use nukes in the Ukraine conflict, in a rare departure from its its usual tacit support for its Moscow's position. The warning came during talks on Friday between Chinese leader Xi Jinping and German Chancellor Olaf Scholz in Beijing, according to Scholz and the Chinese news agency Xinhua. Xi and Scholz agreed to oppose the use of or threat the use of nuclear weapons, advocate the nuclear that nukes cannot be used, and that nuclear wars must not be fought. Prevent a nuclear crisis in Eurasia. So the Chinese are really concerned about nuclear war. My nose is running like crazy. So they're not backing Russia on this thing. The comment, the first rebuke of its kind, attributed to the Chinese leader since Russia invaded Ukraine in February. It marks a change of tone for Beijing after the government there said last week that it would deepen its cooperation with Russia at all levels. So this is something different here. Chances are China's objections would act as no deterrent to Putin should he decide to use nukes. You know Putin. So even though Russia has spoken up about this use of nukes, it's not likely Putin would change his mind if he decides to use them. But it's nice to see China fears nuclear war. So the January 6th committee on Friday announced that the orange guy and his legal team must produce records, subpoenaed documents, no later than next week. Now, Trump has also been subpoenaed to appear on April 14th. He gave them until yesterday to produce the documents, but have apparently granted them an extension after his team contacted the committee. They want to see communications and records placed or received between the 2020 election and the January 6th attack on the Capitol. The records subpoenaed include calls and texts sent through Signal, photos and videos taken on January 6th, and memoranda and notes of conversations that occurred during that period. Although Trump has yet to say whether or not he will appear before the committee, it's highly unlikely he'll do so. As I reported last week, the D.C. Circuit Court ruled that the House Ways and Means Committee would finally have access to Trump's tax records. On Monday, Trump asked the Supreme Court to stop access to his returns, his Supreme Court. And of course, his court on Tuesday came through for him once again. If only a temporary administrative stay, there's still put on hold. The terms in question cover 2015 to 2020. Records were requested in 2019, but the Treasury Department declined the request. The matter has been in litigation ever since. Trump's the only president in the past 40 years not to release his taxes. Must be nice to have SCOTUS in your pocket, you know. Now I'm thinking 40 years, that would be Reagan. So I would think that Reagan is the only other president in the past 40 years who hasn't released his tax returns. That would be 1980. So, wow. Weed of the week is Glutang Haze, which I got right here, which I already stopped hitting on, which surprises me. So Glutang Haze is a sativa dominant. Oh, don't tell me my lighter's dead. You don't have to tell me, I already know. It's 24.14% THC. So, Hillary Clinton and other Dems are seeking more than $1 million in sanctions against the orange guy for filing a racketeering lawsuit against them that a federal judge blasted as a 200-page political manifesto that lacked any legal foundation. In a 32-page motion filed Monday in U.S. District Court in West Palm Beach, attorneys for Clinton said the orange guy should be forced to pay the legal expenses she and others incurred after he accused them of conspiring to spur the investigation into whether he colluded with Russia in the 2016 election. Quoting the U.S. District Judge's blistering September decision to dismiss the suit, Clinton's attorneys said the orange guy pursued the legal action knowing it was riddled with factual misrepresentations and flawed legal theories. Now, there were a lot of people involved in this lawsuit, so there's a lot of people that are looking to get their legal fees paid, and I can see where they have it coming. Okay, this is a frivolous lawsuit, so we'll see what happens there. I'm going to turn the page here. Okay. With the Elon Musk takeover of Twitter, half the company's employees have been fired. Okay. So for this to occur just 4 days before the election day is most disturbing. Musk has gutted the department that monitors content and wasn't until now preventing the spread of election misinformation, adding context to misleading tweets, and and communicating with journalists, public officials, and campaign staff. So now any kind of bullshit can show up on Twitter now, okay, and it already is. So the layoff included a number of people who were scheduled to be on call this weekend and early next week to monitor for signs of foreign disinformation, spam, and other problems, other problematic content relative to the election. Musk says he wants Twitter to be a more open forum, and he even invited Trump back. Okay, Trump said he's not interested. By the way, he slammed Twitter, said he's not interested. But this is ridiculous. You know, he's gonna. I don't know. He's doing this on purpose. You know. Turning Twitter into, I guess, what it was before. a haven for lunatics. So we'll get more of that. So during the pandemic, from the start of 2019 till the end of 2020, Americans killed by alcohol rose by 26%, jumping from 10.4 deaths per 100,000 to 13.1 deaths per 100,000, the largest year-to-year increase in the last 2 decades. The increase was largely due to alcoholic liver disease, which rose by 23% year over year, and mental and behavioral health disorders as well, due to alcohol, such as deaths resulting from intoxication, dependence, or psychotic disorders, which rose by 33%. The overall increase is pretty much at every drinking age, except persons over the age of 85. So everybody's drinking too much, okay? And the pandemic drove them to it. So give your liver a break and smoke more weed. That's all I can say, okay? I mean, if alcohol were introduced today, it'd be a Schedule 1 narcotic, okay? There'd be no way they would let people drink alcohol if it were released today. It has no medical benefit, okay? So I don't know what to tell you, but I don't think we should be drinking, okay? I drink, but I don't think I should be doing it. I've cut back considerably. I don't drink hard liquor anymore. I only drink beer, and I drink it in moderation. So yeah, cut back on alcohol consumption if you can, or quit it entirely. You know, it's not good. Smoke more weed, eat some mushrooms. You know, stay natural. Alcohol's not natural. Excuse, excuse me. Hey, somebody come talk to me. Y'all standing out there watching me. Jump in the chat. I'd like to have somebody to talk to. I'm boring. I'm tired of talking to myself. I know what I have to say. There's no surprises there. You know what I mean? I get into a conversation, I have something to talk to other than what I already know. You know, I can learn a few things. I'm not too old to learn new stuff. Of course, everything you learn isn't new. Somebody else already knows it, right? You learn something old every day. So that's the way I look at it anyway. But yeah, come talk to me. You're all lurking out there. Jump in the chat. I got 3 thumbs up. I see somebody must know me. Oh, my nose is. We're having a real stormy day, and it's affecting my sinuses. Oh boy. So, what else is new in my life? Nothing. My best friend is on a concert tour. She's heading to Pittsburgh right now. Go see Billy Strings tonight. She's probably there by now. She was up in Michigan to see him last night. Now they're going to Pittsburgh to see him tonight, and then she'll be home tomorrow. But they went on a 3-city tour this week. Saw him Thursday, Friday, and then tonight. 3 different cities. Just crazy about Billy Strings. So, and this will be her 30, 31, and 32nd show that she's seen of Billy Strings. So, she's traveled all over the country. Well, now it'll be from Pittsburgh to Las Vegas. So that's pretty much all over the country. So, never seen him live. He's allegedly a bluegrass player, but he goes beyond bluegrass. Worth watching. He gets pretty wild. Even covers Hendrix. Covers who else did I see? Oh, I can't remember. Go check him out. You'll enjoy it. Billy Strings, just like it sounds. Worth watching. Hell of a guitarist. Yeah, not much going on here in Custer Park. They canceled the Halloween party. Nobody responded to the Facebook post about wanting to show up for it. Of course, they held on a Sunday, so I could understand. But I had a custom-made costume. I was going to be Dino the dinosaur. The owners of the bar were supposed to be Fred and Wilma Flintstone. My daughter made me a custom-made costume, and I didn't get to wear it. So they better be Fred and Wilma next year, or I'm going to be pissed. It's really a cool costume, too. I mean, it looks just like Dino the dinosaur. Bubble Wand, welcome back. I haven't seen you in ages. You're 13 Bubble Wands now? I've missed you so much. Wait, I got to fix you here. Okay, type something. There you go. Been so out of touch. I missed you too. Yeah. See, since you changed your name, I had to change the moderator there. I had to give you a wrench. So you're 13 Bubble Wands now, huh? How'd you gain the other 12 wands? They just appear one day. So you're all set. Got you covered there. So yeah, there isn't much going on. I missed a few music days for a number of reasons. Missed a few Saturdays too for a number of reasons. last week, Tuesday, I went to Russ Hospital for some testing about getting the other side done. Even though Medicare won't cover it, I wanted to go through some tests and see if I qualify to get the other side done. Because, they're skeptical about doing both sides because of the side effects. So I had to go up there and have some, I had a CT scan done. And then they had me do some cognitive tests. They'd give me a list of words and they had me repeat them back. And then ask me those same words a half hour later. Did I remember those words? That sort of thing. Or they'd give me a list of numbers, ask me to repeat them backwards and that sort of thing. As for now, 13 interchangeable. Bubble wand is meant to be plural. I see. Oh, yeah, it was fun. Went on for about an hour and a half. So hopefully I passed because I sure would like to get the other side done. There is an alternative operation, but it requires putting a wire in my brain and giving me a control box. So I could have control over my tremors. It's a lot cheaper, but then I got a wire in my brain, Because this surgery that Medicare paid for, $60,000. So, even if they hold a benefit for me at the bar, there's no way they're going to raise $60,000. They could hold 12 benefits and wouldn't raise $60,000. So it may be unrealistic to think that I can get the other side done by the non-invasive surgery, which is making this wire in my brain a lot more attractive. Never sounded like a good idea before. But if it can stop my shaking. Oh, and then I had to go to their physical therapy department too, so they could test to see if I was, because one of the side effects of having it done is that people fall down a lot. Well, I'm not very stable to begin with because I don't have any feeling in my left foot. I shattered it some years ago, so it's numb. So I have a tendency to fall down anyway. So that might be a deal breaker right there. I told him if I have to use a walker for the rest of my life, I'm okay with that as long as I don't shake. So we'll just have to see what happens. But all I can do is wait. I have a teleconference, a video conference with them on the 17th. At that time, I'll find out more. But all I can do is wait. But coming up with 60 grand. Of course, they said they were going to see what they could work out for me through the department. Like I could afford that, So are you not working today? Oh, you must be working. Yeah, you must be working today on 13 bubble wands. I know that's probably why I haven't seen you in a long time. You might recently got promoted to an earlier shift. Oh, cool. You spelled it right the first time. Recently. Oh, cool. That's great. Be good to have you back. It is good to have you back. Not a lot of people showing up in the chat lately. So I've even done some shows where nobody showed up in the chat. So it's good to have you back. Yes, you can. I'm so happy. Good for your soul, huh? Yeah, you got to catch me in the beginning, catch the news. Miss the news. I guess I'm probably not home in time. So, but yeah, maybe I'll bullshit for a while longer. Leprechaun talk. Leprechaun talk. You leprechaun soul? Okay. So why are there 13 bubble wands? A custom costume sounds great. Yeah, I should go put it on. except Mrs. Spliffy just packed it away yesterday for next year. A couple of Halloweens ago, I dressed up like Santa Claus. I bought a really nice Santa Claus costume, you know. I walked into the bar and nobody knew who I was. But who thinks of being Santa Claus on Halloween, you know? I had a ball with that. Because I made my new channel 2 days before Halloween, and 13 is prominent on such days. I see. I see. Okay. Two days before Halloween, huh? It's a pretty neat number. A lot of things have happened to me about around 13. Let me think about 13. Well, see, you got married in 2013. I see. See, Dog gives me shit about when I tell him, you know, that Friday the 13th fell on a Wednesday this month, that sort of thing. He says it's not Friday the 13th if it didn't fall on a Friday. I said, no, it fell on a Wednesday this month. You know, it was the 13th on a Wednesday. Then Friday the 13th fell on a Wednesday. He doesn't understand that. He doesn't understand me, I think is what it is. Yeah, I don't know why. He doesn't find that funny. So, yeah, I know. He doesn't get it. So, but then again, he doesn't get a lot of my humor. So, so he's moving Tuesday. He's not even going to get a chance to vote. Well, what are you going to do? Some things just don't sink in with him. So he's moving Tuesday. He usually comes down every Wednesday to watch TV with me. You know, there are certain shows we follow. And he won't be doing that anymore. So we're going to figure out a way through I don't know, one of the sites so that we can link up through the internet and watch shit together. Yes, we will. He's going to Virginia, of all places. Oh no, I didn't want to make you all sad. He might be coming over tomorrow, though, for one last visit. But he's not going to get a chance to vote. And it's so important that we vote this Tuesday. It could mark the end of democracy as we know it if we don't. You know, this is a really important election. People got to get out there and do that. You know, it means that control the House and control the Senate. You know, and if you want to, you know, if you want women to have any rights in this country, I mean, because this is only the start of it, you know. He married the woman who was the wife of my late best friend. Actually, I knew him before that, but only in passing. He used to be a cook at the corner bar in Braidwood, where we would go for pizzas. He would make our pizza. And then he married my late best friend's wife. And since my late best friend and his wife used to come over to the house here and play games once a week, he started doing that. So then they got a divorce, and he still came around, even though we don't see her anymore. So, oh, no problem. Yeah, he and I have been hanging out, I don't know, close to 20 years. He divorced the woman, and she married twice after that. So I went to the third wedding, the one after Dog, and her father at that wedding said that was the last one he was coming to. So he didn't. I guess he didn't come to the last one. You know, I don't think I was even invited to the last one, or was I? I don't know. I might have been. Yeah. So, but now her daughter, she used to come over here when she was like 12 years old and bake bread with me until she was like 20. Now she has two little girls of her own. No, she has a girl and a boy, excuse me. And I'm the godfather to the little girl. And now she's getting married next fall, and I'm going to give her away. Not the little girl, the mother. So, the one whose father passed away. Yeah, we're still very close, the daughter and I, very close. So we've always stayed close. She and I are closer than she is to her mother. So, because her father and I were so tight, and she was daddy's little girl for sure. So she'd rather hang out with me than with her mother. So she never really got along with her mother. Uh, oh, no problem. My life's an open book. At this age, I'll tell you anything you want to know. I get along with everybody. I just don't see a lot of people from my past. It's funny. We're only like 40 miles from Chicago. And once we moved down here, everybody we knew in the city stopped communicating with us. Very few people been down here to see us. The woman who used to sell me weed in Chicago, she came down here to see me. My best friend, who didn't even live in the city, lives in Naperville, which is like 25 miles from here. Okay. He came down here once when I first bought the house, and I was here cleaning the place before we moved in. Came down here once and never came back again. That was 22 years ago. And I've lost complete communication with him. So, I don't know what the deal is, but it was like out of sight, out of mind. Of course, when we lived up there, most of our friends were people we worked with. So, because, you don't really, when you live in a city that size, you really don't get to know people next door even. The only people who are your friends are your coworkers and, and family, and I was never really close to my family because they're a bunch of derelicts. So, what can I say? And that's why I left home when I was 17 and joined the army, So, because, my family was not a good family to live with. So, my mother was impossible to live with. And my sister got married when she was 18 to get out of the house. My father lasted. No, my sister she was 17. Yeah, my father lasted 18 years. Then he got a divorce, so he lasted longer than any of us, So, my mother got remarried. My stepfather was out of there in 6 years. So, but they didn't get a divorce for a real long time. And he had bought some land in Arizona, no, Nevada, that he wanted to sell, and both of their names were on the property. And he needed her signature to sell that land. And it cost him. It cost him to get her signature. She charged him a bundle for that because that's the kind of woman she was. I used to have to beat her to the mailbox on my birthday, that kind of thing. Or she'd take money out of my cards. Birthday cards were always open when I got them from her. Yeah. Yes, a bundle. But that's birthdays and Christmas. Yeah, I had to make sure I picked up the mail. So, or I wouldn't get any presents. A few bundles, yeah. You know what? I always wanted a wallet with a $20 bill in it. And then every time you took the 20 out, there'd be another 20 there. Okay. And that way, if you lost it, you only lost $20. You know, wouldn't be such a big deal. But you know, there's always a 20 in there when you pull one out. That's all you need. Your mom always kept your Christmas gift from your cousin last year. Must have been a nice gift. My mother used to sell my shit. Okay. She sold my ice skates when I went to Alaska. Now, of all places you'd think I might need my ice skates, it would be Alaska. She didn't think I'd need them. She sold them. Now, who buys somebody's used ice skates? She found somebody. I was in 8th grade. She stole my basketball. The Wood Nightmare Before Christmas wall art. Your child is strong, apparently. I see. Yeah. But I was in 8th grade. She stole my basketball. I came home from school. Where's my basketball? Oh, I sold it. Why'd you sell my basketball? Because she could. Okay. And we didn't even need the money. She was already married to my stepfather. But, you know, I mean, who does that to a kid? You know, I come home looking for it. I mean, it wasn't like I didn't use it. Sure, I was 5'2", but still I played basketball. It was hardly fair. You know, seriously, it's hardly fair. Well, it upset me too. I got out of the Army and I was living at home. And I went out drinking one night. And I came home and I hung my jacket on the inside of my bedroom door. Went to work the next day. I got home and my mother says, I found $20 in your jacket pocket. You want to split it? I said, you didn't find it because I didn't fucking lose it. Give me my $20. I mean, when I went to work, she was in my room going through my shit. You know, I got an apartment quick. Wonderful person. Yeah, she's a wonderful person. In her later years, she moved in with her sister. My aunt had a home on a golf course. Beautiful place. And one day my aunt came home. Yes. So they lived in this beautiful home on a golf course. One day my aunt came home and told my mother she had to move. She had to leave. She had to move because she sold the house. My mother didn't even know it was on the market. So in order to get rid of my mother, my aunt sold the house right out from under her. Okay.
She bought a condo. It just anything to get rid of her, you know. She was just impossible to live with. So out the door. Oh yeah, she was up. Nobody lasted very long. Yeah. Yeah, she was a trip. But she gave me some sound advice. Don't save your money. You know, spend it while it's worth something. Invest, but don't save. I think that's sound advice. Hey, Buds, welcome aboard. No, she's 13 bubble wands now. Did you see that? There you go. Might as well. They're not going to be any cheaper next week. You never have any save for laters. Everything I go in there, it's always buy it now. Just like in the store, I'm not much of a shopper. You know, I go into the store, get what I want, I leave. You know, in the same way on Amazon. I know what I want when I go in there. Yeah, behave, Buzz. She's a married woman. Oh, tissues are stuck in the box. I can't get them out. Come on. There we go. Oh. Now I got 40 of them here. There we go. Buds is mischievous. Buying coal pipes or giveaways. Yeah. Well, you wouldn't think I could get that much noise out of a tiny nose like this. I won that sweet orange fluorescent spider pipe at Jezzy's. Crazy bird. And you want it. Oh, it's not 420 yet. Dying to smoke another joint. Okay, now crazy bird.
Has spider pipe. Fitting needed. Fitting needed. Pipe needs to be fitted to the individual. That's what you need, a pipe that's custom fit to you. No one else can smoke it. Doesn't fit anybody else. Only you can smoke it. That'd be interesting, wouldn't it? Gee, 7 minutes. I gotta wait 7 minutes. $7 minutes. It's like Homer standing in front of the microwave, 60 seconds, but I want it now. So I gotta wait 7 minutes for this joint. It's killing me here. I gotta start making bigger ones, I guess. I need that extra quarter gram. Last me that extra 10 minutes. You found people. Hey, dog. How you doing? You blow away yet? Just a little breezy today, isn't it? Yes, it is. I don't have any leaves on my oak trees anymore. Oh, really? I haven't had any trouble with the power yet. And strangely enough, this is the strongest signal I've had on YouTube in ages. I mean, I haven't had a flicker. Not once have I lost my signal or anything. So it's strange for me. I guess the wind's blowing my signal in the right direction. Not me. Like I say, wind's blowing my signal in the right direction today. I'm doing great. Yeah, it is bizarre. And out here in the sticks, we usually have power outages when the weather gets like this, and nothing today. We're doing great. So I'm a happy guy. So how's the packing going, dog? He's a witch. Watch how he makes his hair glow. You talking about me? Last night you had tornado warnings all night? Yeah, I know. Yeah, I read about it. They had some touchdowns. Glad you got missed. %99 done.
that mean you're coming down tomorrow? Let's make my hair grow. Do please. I want Rapunzel hair. I could grow Rapunzel hair. I've had Rapunzel hair a couple of times. Back in my hippie days. Oh. Texted me earlier. I've had my phone. Oh, wait, I answered you too, didn't I? So I must, oh yeah, 10 o'clock. Okay. Now I remember. Yeah. I have a mind like a sieve. Well, once you move, it'll be over. You know? I was a long-haired hippie freak. Sure. And then I grew my hair long in from let's see, 2000 to 2006. No. 2000. Yeah, to 2006, I grew my hair long. So I just let it grow. Didn't cut it for 6 years. Did I ever whip it? Oh, you mean like swing it around? Used to wear it in a ponytail. And then back in the 60s and 70s, I just parted it down the middle and wore it like this. Sometimes I'd wear a headband. I had a leather headband that I wore, a thin leather headband. Well, yeah. Sure. Take the headband off and whoosh it around. It was fun to play with. I played cousin it with my daughter. You know, I like to play cousin it. That was fun. You know, just flop it all over in front of my face. Yeah, it is. It's good to have you back. So, ooh. It's 4:20. I can smoke again. Yay. Hair, the movie. I went to the play at the Bismarck Theater in Chicago. I saw the play. And it was good too. I enjoyed it. Yeah. And then before there were videotape machines in the city, in homes, there were video theaters. Rolling Stones' "Gimme Shelter" first came out on video before it came out in movie theaters. And O Calcutta, the Broadway production, came out on videotape as well. You had to go to a video theater to see them. There was one in Chicago on North Broadway called the Broadway Broadcasting Company. And I went there to see both the Rolling Stones, Give Me Shelter, as well as Oh Calcutta. And it was really cool. It was like $5 to get in. And they had potato chips and Coke and Pepsi and 7-Up in a cooler. And you just helped yourself. And they also had a freezer with fudge bars and dreamsicles. And you could just help yourself. This one girl had banged her long locks at this concert I was at. And it kept hitting me. It was fun. I was hoping long hair vibes would attach to me. I see. Yeah. But they had like 3 rooms. They had one with seats like a theater where you could sit and watch it. And then they had 2 rooms like that. And then they had one that was just foam mattresses covered with vinyl. And you could just lay around in there and watch it on video. But it was just TVs. Back then there were no projection TVs or anything else. It was just colored television. And you'd sit in there and watch it. I mean, there was no big screen either. I mean, they were only, I don't know, maybe 28-inch screen. So, yeah, dreamsicles. So, I mean, so you'd pay $5 to go in, but they had all this free food and free junk food, and you'd sit there and watch stuff on television. There was this comedy thing called GrooveTube, which they later made a GrooveTube movie, but it's not nearly as funny as the original was. They showed this company called Uranus Corporation, and they made this plastic product that could be turned into virtually anything, but they'd squeeze it out of a tube and it looked like shit. The product was called Brown 25, and their slogan was, "At Uranus Corporations, things come out a little differently." So it was some really funny shit. Chevy Chase was in the video as well, but it really looked like shit when they'd squeeze it out of the tube. It was some funny stuff. Chevy Chase was just a kid in this thing. I mean, really young. This is probably about 4 or 5 years before Saturday Night Live. At Uranus, things come out a little differently. So, yeah, it was some funny stuff. But these theaters were, or this theater anyway, was a pretty cool place to go. Especially if you were really high, because the entertainment was always fun, whatever they were showing. Oh Calcutta was funny. That was a good play. Everybody got on stage. They were all on stage nude, all lined up together, like connected, dancing. It was a really funny show. But hair has a serious end to it, so. But it had a lot of good songs. So. But yeah, what else did I do back then? Crazy shit. I don't know. A lot of concerts. Unbelievably cheap concerts. Like Led Zeppelin and Jethro Tull for $5 and that sort of thing. Oh, you're back again. Oh, that's good. Where'd you go? Any place special? Did you go stand your car back upright? Lost net. Oh, I see. I thought maybe you had to go stand your car back upright again. Keeps blowing over. Boy, we can't complain about the weather lately, though. It's really been nice here till today. And it's just blustery. It's really not that cold out. Just high winds and rain occasionally. But now the sun's coming out as it starts to set. So, oops, it went out again. It's 50 here. Yeah, that's not cold. Let's see what the weatherman says it is here. $50. That's not cold. Of course, it was 61 this morning. The coldest it's going to be all night is 45. So that's not so bad. And tomorrow it's going to be 63. That's not so bad. We get back into the 70s next week. Then we get chilly. Week after next. Oh, next Friday, we drop into the 40s and we stay there. Yep. We have 71 on Thursday, and then 44 on Friday, and we stay in the 40s from then on. Home Alone. Yeah. Yeah, it is. Northern suburbs, I think. You went by the Home Alone house? Where is that? Like Northbrook or somewhere? Or Mount Prospect or somewhere out that way? Hey, El Tupra Newbury, welcome aboard. Which is it, Northbrook or Mount Prospect? That's what I get for naming two towns. You'll be 74 when you get to Virginia. It's a long drive. River Forest. Okay. So it's west of the city. I thought it was north. I live in a town that part of Planes, Trains, and Automobiles was filmed. Yeah, you do. By the shittiest motel in the world. I mean, that's a hole, that place. I've been in it. Oh, yeah? I saw Little Feat and the Jay Giles Band in a bar where Joey Lewis got his throat cut for refusing to sing there. And as a result, he changed his act to comedy instead of a singer. Yeah, the good. Some funny stuff too. I like First I Look at the Purse. My favorite Jay Giles song. And Give It to Me. And Ain't Nothing But a Party. Ain't Nothing But a House Party. Those are some of my favorites. But I really like First I Look at the Purse. Because that's got some crazy lyrics. And if you're not familiar with Little Feat, you should listen to Little Feat. You know of Jay Giles Band? I mistook them for that band that sings. Well, they sing. Well, if you can call what he does singing. Peter Wolf. Keep on rocking me, baby. Oh, who does that? It's not Jay Giles. But if you're not familiar with Little Feat, you should check them out because they're fabulous. Steve Miller. Oh, yeah. Oh, Steve Miller's great. But if you're not familiar with Little Feat, check them out. But early Little Feat, check out the album Waiting for Columbus. It's a live album. You won't believe it's live. But that's the album to check out, Waiting for Columbus. Lowell George is a lead singer. He started and he died. They broke up like in 1980, and he died shortly thereafter of a heroin overdose. The band reformed, but I don't think they're as good. But Lowell George was formerly with Frank Zappa and the Mothers of Invention. And Frank Zappa was opposed to drug use. And Lowell George wrote a song called Willin', where he sings, "If you give me weed, whites, and wine, I'll be willin'." And Frank Zappa didn't like the song. So he told him he should go out and form his own band. So he did. Yeah, I think you'll like the music. if you're not familiar with them. I've featured them before on the show, but if you're going to be home Tuesday, I'll feature them again this week. Just so you can hear them. You think you'll be home on Tuesday? In time for the show? Because it's been a long time since I featured them. Okay, well, I'll feature them Tuesday. Yeah, because I mean they do some great music. They really do. And Lowell George is fabulous. And when I saw him with Jay Giles, I mean, it was an amazing show. And the Green Mill where I saw him is a really small venue. Yes, I did. I most definitely like the Strawberry Glue. Thank you so much. And besides, between you and Dog, I saved some money. Yeah, he showed me pictures of that thing when it was growing, and I couldn't believe how huge that was for one plant. I mean, come on. That was a shrub. That was, I mean, honestly, that was a shrub. And it was amazingly large. So I didn't realize they could grow like that, you know. I mean, how big was the stalk on that thing? It must have been, how big around was the trunk on that thing? I mean, would you say size of a quarter or bigger? I mean, to support that thing, it had to be huge. Bigger than $50. Wow. That's nice. That's nice. Wow. Holy shit, Batman. Oh man, I can't imagine. Never grow that in a tent. Maybe a circus tent. Yeah. Nothing like the sun, though, you know. All Mother Nature produces the best light. She wanted, huh? Did you top it off? Or did you just bring it in? I guess if you would have just never topped it and just let it go straight up, it would have been amazing. Imagine, Doug, if it was like a cheese plant. I grew a cheese plant in my tent here, and I topped it once, and it just grew up in two straight columns, just two straight columns going up one next to the other. It's all bud. It's So imagine if you'd have grown one of those. You know, they'd been like 2 poplar trees. Oh, I see. A few feet, huh? Wow. Should have cloned all those. Line up next to them. Just line them up right next to that girl. Scrog. There you go. Next time, huh? Next time, net that sucker out. Cover the whole yard. That's what you do. I understand. Next time, you got to scrog the whole thing down. Just cover the whole backyard. You don't have to correct your. Oh, I see. Scrooge. I see. I read Scrooge, didn't I? Usually I read Stoner. I don't know what happened to me. I messed up there myself, so I apologize to you. I'm supposed to understand that sort of thing. Well, just don't worry about it. Like I said, I'm supposed to be able to read Stoner. I understood it the second time. In fact, I read it right the second time, even though it was spelled wrong. So I'm funny that way. So yeah, so I harvested my cheese the other day. So we'll see how that goes. This has not been a good grow for me. Next time I'm going to do it right. I've decided. This will be my 4th grow. And so this is the one. Okay. I'm convinced. I mean, I've had some good taste in weed. Now I got to work on yield. Okay. So that's my next step. I'm tuning in on things. So we'll see what happens. I got about 3 more weeks, I think, on the Gorilla Glue I got going. Isn't that right, Dog? You still there? So I got about 3 more weeks till Thanksgiving or something, I think. I got to go. I got 5 Gorilla Glue plants going. So I think then everything else is already done. So and I'm all ready to start over. I want to get something else going right away. You suck it indoors so far? Yeah, me too. So we're in the same boat. So I'm getting there. Well, for once now, I actually have a decent light, and that'll make a difference. Well, see, I don't really have a place for outdoor because my neighbors all smoke. So, I don't. Yeah, outdoor in a pot, maybe. I could do that. Because, like, my bestie grows things outdoors in pots and then brings them in at night. So that gives her a long outdoor season, too, because she avoided the frost. Uh, so she just has them out during sunlight hours. Well, so that nobody cops them. But then being in pots, of course, they don't get it as huge. But they're getting real sunlight. And she also grows indoors in tents. So, she does it both ways. And she had some bonsais. Her husband created some bonsai weed plants. Which I thought was kind of weird. But what are you going to do? I think I'm going to wrap things up, folks. Nice seeing y'all. And remember, there's nothing funny about peace, love, and understanding. And I hope to see you Tuesday. I'll be featuring Little Feet. Dog, I know you'll be busy. I'll see you around, folks. Take care and stay safe. Bye now.